Hey there, folks. We're going to jump into our U.S. news. Should probably, we're a professional operation. Might want to actually. Oh wow, I have nothing going. Wow, this is. Oh, Serenity now. Oh, he's so good at this. I'm so glad I pressed record. Am I gonna press, stop recording and do another one? Nope. That's the intro. There you go, folks. Welcome to the show. Anyway, I wanted to show this. This is absolutely shocking footage out of Spain. Just some absolutely shocking footage, of what people are having to deal with. Immense flooding. I mean, literally people riding on the roof of their vehicles so they don't drown, but so that they can also maybe keep their vehicles. Kind of shows you how desperate and poor people are. It's like, no, this is worth risking my life. I need my car. And just, absolutely shocking floodwaters. And I got a little beef here. I got a little beef, not with, of course, these poor suffering people. It's absolutely shocking footage here. And I know it's U.S. news, but I just had this here. I didn't want to do a whole Spain segment, but I also wanted to comment on this tanky, proud communist over here with the snarky comment. You know what this situation needs? More free markets. That's what. First of all, floods and bad weather and weather anomalies absolutely can and do happen under communist socialist regimes. So it kind of makes you look stupid. I get the argument that he's making, though, that if we invested more, if Spain invested more in public infrastructure, it would, and also, climate change prevention, climate change, and like, so I get that is what the argument that he's probably trying to make. But to the tankies and lefties, start making that argument. You're not a fucking comedian. Okay, there's like 50 actually funny motherfuckers on the planet, right? There's like 50, in every country. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? There's not a lot of actually funny, super clever, Gene Wilder. You know what I mean? Real talent. But everyone on the goddamn internet thinks that it's okay to try out their fucking 10-minute set. So I'm going off the rails here. I'm just trying to tell the tankies and the lefties, if you're going to be making points about how capitalism incentivizes divesting away from, things that don't have a profit, right? Because investing in infrastructure and climate change, there's not a direct profit to that a lot of the time. So why would a capitalist society do that? I get that. So make that argument. Stop with the snark. You look like dumbasses out there. You're making us look like fucking idiots. All right? Lefties, do better. Commies, I see you over there. Everything's a fucking capitalist problem. I get you. So make the point and make it academic. Stop wasting our time with your fucking 10-minute set. All right? Because, yeah, maybe a socialist solution would be better. And I think I would agree with that. Right? Yeah, there's not a lot of money in making sure. I mean, there actually is. It's ironic, right? But it's like, because if you make it, because how much damage to capitalism did this flood make? You know what I mean? Anyway, I just wanted to point that out and shit on the tankies for a second. And I figured I would take this opportunity to kind of both sides it a little bit. Comedy gold. But, Dante Atkins here, a progressive communicator and strategist, principal at AtkinsStrategies.llc. Okay, buddy. Married to Emily Crockett. Like what, from Davy Crockett? Not a well person, quote unquote. Alex Trebek. Right, okay. All right, so kind of a guy here. But anyway, he makes a very good point. I guess he's full of himself for a reason. The tank, because listen to this. This is fucking murder, dude. Someone grab your favorite tanky buddy and hug him tight, because listen to this. The tankies absolutely can't stand that Eastern Europe immediately turned west after the collapse of the USSR because amazingly, they wanted personal, political, and economic freedoms. They were counting on Russia to punish Ukraine for making that same choice. They absolutely cannot stand the fact that people of Eastern Europe chose the U.S. and NATO instead. They want that to be undone. They have to characterize it as U.S. imperialism as opposed to what it actually was, because otherwise it represents the victory of liberalism. Now, there's more criticism to be handed over to the West, to the United States, to NATO, about its unapologetic, aggressive stance against Russia. As I've said before, especially in the previous stream, NATO, where I just went on a full tirade about it, I can't believe anyone watches this show. It's unbearable. But NATO is retroactively correct about Russia. I mean, it's how, you know what I mean? Like the Russia's not going to do that. Russia's not going to do that. You're fear-mongering. You're being hyperbolic. And then Russia does exactly the thing that they, that would be just unbelievably unconscionable. But I do think it's impossible. I think I'm the only guy wasting my time trying to keep this candle alive, trying to keep this flame alive. But NATO shoulders some blame, right? I mean, I think about how the United States would act if a similar organization was, all up in our business like NATO, right? And how we would justify it if we lashed out. But here's the thing. Why didn't you invade Poland, motherfuckers? Why didn't you invade a motherfucking NATO country then? No, you went for what you thought was the easy pickings. So don't cry me a fucking river. Anyway, I personally am not offended by the people of Eastern Europe having freedoms as opposed to, say, the Stasi. Okay. Are we pretending like the West doesn't have Stasi-like police state systems? Just because it's kinder and friendlier doesn't mean it's not, it's not the Stasi though. It's true. If I wanted to, in Canada, in France, in Britain, in the United States, I could walk out with an empty piece of paper and just stand there and hold it. I'd probably get on the news. But the cops wouldn't drag me away. It's true. Even if I don't like and I don't have to worry about my neighbor ratting me out to the police because he heard some of my political show, right? He's listening in. He's like, listen to this guy, right? And then reporting me to the Stasi, because that was the big thing. It was neighbors reporting on neighbors. That was the incredibly, anyway. Even if I don't like the choices they sometimes make, see Poland, yeah, and that's a great example. The choice to end someone's self-determination has to cross a really high bar to be legitimate. 100%. So when you hear these guys say, quote, all we need is like 3 to 5% to do a revolution, and we don't hear that all the time, but that is what they're insinuating with their fucking bellicose language and their in-your-face edginess. This is what they're insinuating. Right, is that they just need that tipping point. They are actually talking about imposing totalitarian control through a putschist minority rule that most people do not actually choose because they want to dictate how everyone lives. Commies run and hide. What even? He's so smart. Look at this. He's so smart and so clever. He used a word I couldn't even pronounce properly. Believing that a government should be removed by force. Oh, that is interesting. Ooh, tasty. He called on citizens to refrain from being influenced by the putschist attitudes of opposition groups. Oh, smart vocabulary. It seems like I've never heard of this guy before until I saw this, this went viral. But hey, like and subscribe. He's got his newborn baby on his chest. Seems like a nice guy. Really smart fella. He's got the macaroni hair, so give him a like there, Chem Goblin. No, I agree with all this. I do. I mean, but I had, some NATO. I really am worried about what I see with the left right now, rah-rahing NATO. I feel like that's going to come back and kick us in the ass. Am I crazy, woke patriot? Right? I feel like this kind of blind We're the good guys. I feel like that's gonna, you know, the next Iraq or Afghanistan's right around the corner. You know, it's right around the corner. You know what I mean? All right, anyway, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm full of shit. You know, maybe NATO is the good guys. Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't show you this one. See, I'm using smart words too. I'm a smart guy. I went to high school. Shut up. Anyway, here's a smart fella, Mike Pence, getting beamed in the head with a fucking shot right out of the fucking major leagues. NATO isn't inherently bad, but it is inept. I think an honest debate could be had about NATO's entire history, right? I would like to see a really smart, educated person quantify this for me. Show me all the good things. Show me all the bad things. It's been around a long fucking time. It has obviously in the benefit of the Western Alliance versus those who are not part of the alliance. Some more for others, right? I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable just being like, yeah, NATO's all right, I guess. I don't know, man. I'm not saying Russia's invasion's justified. Of course not. Fucking glory to the Ukrainian democracy. And I cheer on every victory I see, which is plentiful. Ukrainian kicking a lot of ass over that on that battlefield. But am I going to sit here and start sucking NATO's dick? Really? It's all good now? It's all good now? Anyway, check out Mike Pence getting beamed in the fucking head with a water balloon. I mean, where's the contract? She's so slick about it too. She's so slick about it. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I mean, MLB. Summer fun. Summer fun. Vice President, beam that motherfucker square in the head. I didn't do shit. I don't know what you're talking about. Look away. Lovely. Lovely. Okay. Let's see how many comments. Let's do something fun here. Woke Patriot. I mean that because it's not about friendship. It's not about defending democracy, right? Woke Patriot. It's about the United States' interests. It's about the empire's interests. Have we completely lost the plot? Are we just forgetting the situation, right? It's like Bush didn't happen, right? It's like after 9/11 we didn't see any of that. I don't know. I guess that was just a whoopsie doodle. But no, let's play a fun game here. How many comments before we get to the one that's totally insane and completely like right wing and totally unhinged, where they're like, oh, this little girl should be arrested. She should have been tackled she could have been throwing bleach. She could have pissed in the balloon. She could have been throwing a deadly virus. They gotta kill the girl. They should have shot her on sight, justified. They should have shot her on sight, justified. All right, let's see how many comments we get before we get to that one. Let's see. Nice. Okay. Kind of a pussy bitch. Kind of a pussy bitch here, but not unhinged, just pussy bitch. Moving on. What an arm. Okay, here we go. We got our blue check. This is not cool. We must not sink to that level. All right, that's pussy bitch shit. That's pussy bitch ass bullshit. But that isn't unhinged. That isn't calling for her arrest. It was holy water, so it was okay. Yep, here we go. Rip Holmes over here. Here we go. A classic from your boy Rip Holmes. Here we go. Rip Holmes with the motherfucking classic. This is actually a threat or a crime. My advice to you is to remove this tweet, because if you get into an argument with the Secret Service, I believe you could be charged with a conspiracy to incite. Get him! Get him, Rip! Rip him a new one, Rip! Rip him a new one, Rip! Hell yeah, that is a federal crime. Holy shit. Could have been a deadly biovirus. And here we go. Second comment down. Now should be charged with assault. LOL. Stop taking these people seriously and start fighting them in the political realm. They're defeating you politically. Okay? And you know how they're defeating you? They're just by showing up. Right? Because I know we're too cool for school on the left. I know we're a bunch of cool motherfuckers. But we got to make time for this shit. It's that 1, 2, 3 that I'm talking about constantly. Step 1, inform yourself. Step 2, join a progressive political organization. And step 3, put in the work. Okay? Steve Bannon out there cracking the whip. Steve Bannon out there making it happen. Okay, making sure we got fascists like Mike Pence. I mean, because you know what his argument about not stealing the election on January 6th. You know what it was? Oh, we couldn't really find a legal, avenue to do that. His only problem is that there wasn't a legal way for him to steal and destroy the democracy. He has no problem with this man will vote for Trump again. This man might even stump for Trump. And they're winning. It is interesting, though, to see just how amazingly incompetent they are. But they're willing to do it. Oh, yeah, Pence will. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Maybe he won't stump for him, even if asked. No, he'll vote. But you know what he would do? He'd go on right-wing media and he would make sure to be asked the question, are you going to vote for Trump? And he would go, yep, because I'm a Republican and I'm not going to vote for left-wingers. And yep, I believe in a strong Republican Party. Oh, he'd vote for Trump. They don't stand for anything except power. Speaking of power, we got some powerful protesters right here. Oh my God. My God, he'll put the lipstick on, he'll get the collar, you know what I mean? He's ready to serve. Oh, Lindsay's ready to serve. Are you kidding me? Lindsay wears it under his suit. He's ready to serve, baby. He's ready to get down on his knees and pray. Lindsey Graham, we're talking about the same Lindsey Graham. Anyway, talking about strong-ass motherfuckers right here. We just swarmed the field of the Congressional Women's Softball game as rooftop snipers aimed their guns at us and members of Congress begged us to evacuate. We held our ground. So, we often receive a lot of I often receive a lot of criticism. I shouldn't speak for you and anybody in the chat on this one, but I often receive a lot of criticism when and please someone let me know if this guy's talking some Russian bullshit. I'll make sure to ban him. I receive a lot of criticism when I defend streets being blocked, protests happen, disruptive protests happening, right? Where, maybe people have, they can't get their morning coffee because there's a union, a picket line in front of the coffee shop and they can't get a coffee, right? The blocking of the traffic is the big one that people seem to really have a problem with it. Okay, you said fuck off. All right. Well, I tell you what, I'll be Mr. Nice Guy and we'll just go ahead and give him a timeout. Oh, I mean, I'm so fucking nice. I am fucking motherfucking Teresa over here, dude. Motherfucking Teresa. So I often receive a lot of pushback, especially like I said, when I'm supporting blocking of traffic. And honestly, there's more there's more nuance in that argument because, yeah, sometimes you might be blocking an ambulance or something like that. I have seen protests, usually, it's rare when you see it happen, but it does happen. And usually when that's the case, the protesters move out of the way for the ambulances and emergency vehicles. But that kind of nuance is never really talked about. Hopefully, though, one of the people in the chat that does make a good argument, Davey, he talks about, hey, instead of blocking traffic, why don't you block City Hall, right? Why don't you block one of the politicians' houses, right? Or places of business, right? Make it hard, protest directly, make the protest inconvenient for the politician and not the regular Joe, right? There's some pluses and minuses there because you're not getting your message out to as many people. Maybe if you're disruptive enough, though, directly to the politician, that will get you on the news, right? They won't cover you in a positive light, but you will get on the news because it really is about getting on the news. It's about spreading this message. So I would hope that the people that criticize blocking traffic would be okay with this protest here, because this is exactly what we talk about. They went directly after Congress, right? This person probably is like, I support you, but you're ruining our game. No, they're not. You're not doing enough. So let's just go ahead and get their chant here real quick.
Looks like we're going to have a little stoppage in play to deal with a protest in the outfield. End fossil fuels are what I'm seeing on the shirts.
End fossil fuels. End fossil fuels.
Yeah, so I really think this is great. These are the people that need to be hearing it. These are the people that need to be disrupted and inconvenienced, the politicians.
In a very prolonged way.
Yeah, if I was in that crowd, I'd jump out. I'd jump out of my seat. I would.
Garrett.
That's just some PR press bullshit, NIDAC.
Delays. Sometimes on totally unrelated policy issues.
No, those politicians that support them should have joined them. They should have. Yeah. Now get in there. That's what we want.
Fossil fuels are killing me.
Politics is more important than a goddamn softball game. I'm so sorry your fun day. Okay. Sorry, but not sorry. So absolutely lovely. You love to see it. These are the people that need to be seeing this message. And yeah, if I was in that crowd, I'd be joining them too. And the people in that crowd, I will say it, are a little fucking cowardly. You want to live in a nice world or not? Oh, you're ruining my nice time. You know what would ruin a nice fucking time? A massive weather anomalies that destroy whole cities. We're talking about, Miami. We're talking about Miami being underwater by the time we're old and gray. You and me watching this. Miami gone. That isn't to say what the fuck is going to happen with New York, the capital city, surrounded by water. We got glaciers melting. We got scientists fucking lighting themselves on fire trying to tell the world there's a big fucking problem coming up. So don't give me your ruining my baseball game bullshit, okay? Because people wouldn't be doing this if those politicians playing their little game were actually doing enough. And let's be real, enough is not being done. Last clip, different angle here. What on earth? Question mark. We were told we should stop occupying the Congressional Women's Softball game because it's powered by a generator. Our government is giving fossil fuel companies $20 billion per year in subsidies and actively approving new pipelines. Is that 20 billion or trillion? How much is this? 3 of them? That's billion, right? Man, YouTube. This shit, you can't type anything into fucking YouTube. These guys are so fucking good with their search engine optimization. I just typed in a random fucking number into YouTube, and this This motherfucker who's like talking to your kids every day decided to make it his life to have conversations with your kids. I'm not saying anything, I'm just saying. I'm not saying anything, I'm just saying. All right, they all want to be talking to my kids. Why? Because it makes them rich. This guy's a fucking millionaire. Million, okay. I'm just goofing because I'm a moron. All right, but let's see this video. Yeah, when Bruce, is that the most recent one? The one that like was I covered it on the News Underground. I covered that, but the news didn't even cover this guy lighting himself on fire. Oh, he's a crank, he's a kook, whatever. Everyone in the comment section just glib and nihilistic. Yeah, of course, you know, you got to have some, you know, but come on, man. A blink, a blip, is that all we get?
This entire event is ran off of a battery generator. Those fossil fuels were used in the production of this event.
We can change things, though. We are the Ubermensch. We're in full control here. This is happening because we're allowing it to happen. The left is who I'm speaking for right now. The left. It's happening because we're allowed to happen. These people are plugged in. These people are following the 3 steps. Okay? And yeah, everyone in this crowd should be ashamed. I'm serious. Everyone in this crowd should have a little bit of shame. Just a little bit. Is that too much to ask? Everyone in this crowd should have a little bit of shame that they didn't jump in there. It's their planet too. They're on this fucking planet too. Last time I checked. All right, folks. That's my U.S. news. Now we're jumping into the writer's strike. I guess I'll do a separate video. Thank you, YouTube.